Oh, hello. So let's start with 3/4 of your starting second.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start with it.
So is Javon out of protocol? And then with
No, he's not.
Thank you. That's good. And then,
But still
not
working
good.
through it.
It's good information. Thank you.
Still working through it.
Your starting corners with Xavier.
Don't know who they are.
I was going to ask you if they go through practice today. Well, there are no health issues. Things go well. They look good to you. Would you expect both of them to play Sunday?
So everything's case by case with those two individuals. I have a very good working relationship with them, and we communicate very well. So they both know what they mean to the team and what their desire to play if they put themselves in harm's way, what it can do, to the team. Much like Teron Armstead, where it's like and that's an earned right because they're not just telling me, they've shown me they know how to prepare. So, I think literally nothing to do with any competitive advantages or any I really have to go through practice and listen to them. I'm already going to know I'm going to like the way they look, those two in particular, but it's about them understanding, which we've worked to this point to be in a working relationship like this where they know the implications, they know what it's like to feel right, and they know that we have guys that we've really depended on all year, fortunately, that are able to make plays and orchestrate the defense if they're unable to. Obviously, we'd love to have them both. I wouldn't say that I'm prepared for either scenario for both players, and I really don't have a clue if they're gonna play or not, which is fun, right?
Yep.
And if they do not play, how comfortable are you with the contingency plan?
Yeah, no, I'm. That's a good question with the information that we have to work with, and so I appreciate that. No, I'm very comfortable. I think that I was very happy with the performance that the secondary had last week against. You learn a lot about people, and you're on national television, and your matchups are as difficult as they can get. You talk about the receivers that Philadelphia had, and they didn't blink and gave us a chance to win that football game. So I think that's the comfort level. That's the good thing. I find comfort in the fact that both X and Ramsey know how capable the players are that they play with, so they won't make an irresponsible decision because just kind of like Teron, I'm going to look at it and I'm going to be like, yeah, that's awesome. I want that guy to play, but I'm not inside their mind. So I'm comfortable with all the scenarios, and we'll be excited regardless at Hard Rock.
I hope Connor Williams.
Yeah, we're gonna go through practice. He's in the same category. My gut tells me he'll be active. I'm not sure yet if he's going to start. Just because today's like. When you get in these situations where you have up to the day decisions, each practice is monumentally important, especially because it's the most important practice of our lives, the most important day of our lives today. So we'll see how that goes. There's a litany of questions that I truly am. With the support of the training staff and the rest of the coaches and stuff, I'm Still figuring out. YOLO.
Mike, Tyreek told us that he's playing tomorrow. Can you confirm that? Sunday. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead. Right.
Not much good.
No.
He's there's no trick or treating for his kids, right? Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I would expect him to play, for sure. He's done well, and we're very proactive with our. It'd be like, would you run on E if you had a Ferrari? You'd probably make sure it had gas. You'd take care of it on the front end. You know, emissions check would be something you'd get done early. So our proactive work proved very well served yesterday. He had a phenomenal practice, and I expect him to be full Tyreek energy today.
Coach, going back to Barry's question, and you just saying that.
That was a great question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a good way
He
to
really
get the stuff
owns
started.
the room.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
And going back that you're not in the player's mind, but Jalen Ramsey posted on social saying that, you know, he has to go and feel great in order to play. And he has to go through a whole process. What's that what ends up being the process that you guys have to see in order to get that great?
Oh, okay. So literally what he's talking about, his whole process, is playing football snaps. That when he's talking about his process, he's got to go through, all right, so I get warmed up, I feel a certain way, I go through my reps, and it doesn't mean that every play I executed perfectly. It's more, am I feeling 100% convicted in what I know I need to do? And then after practice, going through the normal process, and then communicating with the trainers, as he's literally done every day for the last however many months. So it's really just going through the movements, fundamentals, technique, drills, and seeing you know, how confident you can be doing all the things that you have to do at that position. You have to turn every single way, and you have to stop passes and runs, and all sorts of stuff. So he knows he's only interested in one version of Jalen Ramsey, and that's Jalen Ramsey, and we know him to be that because he's not going to shortchange the team and go play a game where he knew going into it that, oh man, I might have to come out in the second quarter, or that I'm just going to be a non-convicted version of myself. Well, that takes away what he does for his teammates when he's going. When he's going, everybody can feel by how he plays residual energy. So he's not gonna settle. He's not a settler.
So all in or nothing, basically.
Hmm?
So all in or nothing.
Yeah,
from
pretty. When you're talking about at that position and game day actives, you kind of have to be, because the trickle down is so real when you have anything, when you have a guy come out.
Is Cam Smith IR on the table or not considered at this time?
No, I don't. We're not totally thinking that. I wouldn't say it's off the table. We're trying to work through it and see how it responds. We don't want it to linger throughout the season and make him worse while we're trying to make him better. You know, and he's, I got to tip my hat to him. He is. You can see that he is made of the right stuff. That he has what you're looking for in a talented player, which is determination, resiliency, and I'm confident that anything we do with him, that he'll find a way to get better from it. He's in a good spot and learning from some unbelievable teachers and coaches, and within his position room.
Where are you with the left guard replacement? I know you've got Lester Cotton was in the mix. You got Robert Jones who's in the mix, and then Liam, if Connor does return to center, obviously could potentially return to the position that he once played. How have they all looked this week in trying to replace Isaiah?
No, I think it's one of the best parts of practice this week is the way that the guys have gone after that, executing the specifics to that position. I'm feeling very confident in the way we finished the game. I loved Lester Cotton's reps. It's hard to keep Rob off the field. He's an ascending player. We might try to find a way to get him on the field at some point. And I like I've been telling you guys, Liam is been playing. I just love how he evolves every game and gets better at certain things. So with his commitment to the center position this week, the one thing that we've just had to make sure of is, all right, well, we're going to commit him to working with Connor and see how that plays out. So he has the ability to play guard, but I'm very confident in Lester and Rob and just what they've put on tape this week.
Like a running back, how is Raheem's ankle, and do you think we might see carries for Jeff Wilson Sunday?
The Raheem Mostert getting himself ready for Sunday, he's very good at that. He looked. I was very happy with the way he looked yesterday. Today's a new day. We'll see how that plays out. We were planning on getting Jeff some touches last week, and we always get frustrated when the game doesn't go a certain direction that we're unable to do that. So I have a heightened desire to get him some touches this week, but we'll let the game play out and the players on the field to decide how many touches those are by their performance.
With Brandon Jones, he's pretty much been a strong safety in the box guy, and I know you guys don't necessarily have positions at that safety spot, but are you comfortable with him filling in for Javon, especially all the communication things that go with that job?
Yeah, and that's what he's been working at, because it was challenging. He had such a physical mountain to climb, and he did so in such a diligent, great way. And then he, just like you're really hitting the nail on the head, it's a system change for him. So that position is all about how convicted you can play, because you have a lot of space, and you have to stop the run from deep, and you have to be able to protect a lot of space. So that's a process. He continues to get more comfortable. He's getting better at he cares so much and wants everything so bad that he's like a lot of people that are inherently driven. You make yourself vulnerable to snowballing plays of, if you don't like something, it can become 2 plays because you're so mad at yourself. It's been cool to watch him through the process, because you're always going to be in practice week. Every safety has their own alignment, technique, assignment issues. What I've seen growth in him is stopping the lingering. So he's going to continue, and all that does is give people confidence. So his teammates, I know, are all in his corner. It's not something easy that he's gone through, and the journey isn't over in terms of him, because what he wants to do is feel 100% comfortable executing our defense at a high level, and he's in the midst of that journey, and it's an ongoing one. It's hard to be really really good in systems if your system's really good. There's things that you have to. What do I mean by that? There's high level nuances and details to a good system that make it more challenging. If you have loose rules or non-detailed responsibilities, it's an easier system. But in terms of like, hey, it's somebody's job to make a play. When you have a system that you kind of identify who has the difficult down, who has help, and how do you play together, and have a ton of different position-specific details with that. It's a process, but that's why we don't overreact. I'm happy with where he's at, and I just want to see him continue to get better at executing the stuff that's so important to him.
Like at this hour, Holland not ruled out yet, correct? I just want to clarify that.
That's right.
Thank you.
Hey man, clarity.
Can you talk a little bit about New England? You're obviously coming off a good one.
It's like finally.
About New England, what was the question? No, I really enjoy like quality football, and I enjoy, how hard it is the NFL season for players to just execute. But you want to talk about what's harder is getting better while doing it. And I just really have high regard for teams that finish the season better than when they started. I see on tape a team that's better than when they started, so I know what type of work that goes into that. I think from a defensive standpoint, what's very unique about this unit is they have concrete fundamentals and principles that every player on the defense shares. So, like, you can see consistencies in how they defeat blocks, from corner to safety to edge player to four technique. So it's based on fundamentals and technique to me. And they're a very, very good tackling defense. Offensively, I'm seeing a team that is really evolving and finding more of who they are and finding abilities to make plays in all sorts of ways with, guys that I'm very familiar with contributing at a high level. Not just Mike Gesicki, but I coached Kendrick Bourne in San Francisco. Those guys uptick in involvement. Their backs are playing real well, and I think Mac is seeing the field. So there's I think they are a team that I know that our team isn't taking lightly, and a team that will take advantage of those who do take them lightly.
Mike, Alec Ingold has been battling, I think, a foot injury.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how he's been progressing. Seems like his snaps from special teams and scrimmage have been reduced recently. Is that accurate, and how is he doing?
Yeah, no, that we've been, typically he's on the field a ton, and he's still been on the field a lot, but we have decelerated that simply because of how important he is to our team and making sure that we don't run him into the ground, so to speak. So we have a lot of good football players, and we've been able to spread around assignments and responsibilities, whether that be in 3 wides or 2 tight end personnels, and do some things that he would do, but would also he's had because of that, we have a chance to have him, continue to be a featured player for us here and moving forward. It was something that we were trying to get in front of because we know how much he means to the team and didn't want him to we kind of have to protect him from himself by the way he plays football. He is that physical component that you want to have on your team, not go against. So we've been trying to be cognizant of that. Cool. All right.
Thank you.
And what if